BJP hits back at Priyank Kharge without taking his name, criticizes him and his father after Kharge called Prime Minister Modi's real father as RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. KPCC President Dinesh Gundu Rao slammed the BJP, stating that the BJP has been instructed to cause the coalition government to collapse in Karnataka. Schools are back in action in Madikeri after a gap of 20 days. DC calls on schools to encourage maximum enrollment. More than 1,000 taxi drivers are protesting at the Ola office in Murgeshpalya. Drivers claim harassment by the company. And a bear cub had its head stuck in a gate for several hours in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Forest officers come to its rescue. Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nikhil Vasuki. We begin with some big news that has just come in. Central government decides not to issue notification to implement Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan report. That's the latest coming in. The aftermath of the state government having rejected it. This is the third time in 5 years that the centre has failed to issue a notification in this regard. The last date to issue the notification was the 26th of August. The move comes due to opposition from the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. That's the latest coming in. The centre has decided not to issue a notification following opposition from several states to implement the Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan report, which chiefly also said that human settlements on the Western Ghats are causing a great deal of depletion in terms of natural reservoirs, and therefore floods are likely to happen as they have in Kerala and Karnataka. Praveen Bhargava, environmentalist, is on the phone with me. Praveen, with this latest decision by the centre not to issue a notification on implementing the Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan report, do you see perhaps a brushing under the carpet of the issues the Western Ghats will face?
Absolutely, because the Western Ghats report of Dr. Kasturi Rangan itself was a dilution from the report that Professor Madhav Gadgil gave.
Right.
And the area got substantially reduced. And let's not forget that a whole set of consultations have taken place before the issue of this draft notification.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure why now they've waited till the 545th day and allowed it to lapse. They are doing the same thing with respect to eco-sensitive zones. Banerghatta eco-sensitive zone is a case in point, where they allowed it to lapse. And this process of saying that if the states have to give fresh proposals or ideas,
okay,
is completely incorrect, because the law empowers the central government very clearly. The Environment Protection Act very clearly empowers the central government to issue the notification.
Right.
So therefore, this whole thing of tossing the ball back and forth and dealing with this issue in such a cavalier manner, when environment needs to be protected,
right,
does not conform to the government's constitutional requirement of protecting forests, rivers, lakes and wildlife, and its duty to protect all these areas.
Okay.
Both state and centre.
Right. So it seems that the state governments, various state governments that I had mentioned, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, what are they actually seeking as alterations, if I may use that word, of this report?
The first and foremost misinformation that elected representatives are passing on to people is that people will be displaced.
Okay.
This is utterly false. There is nothing even in the draft notification, it has been clarified that there will be no acquisition of any land and there will be no displacement or dislocation of local people. And the very fact that the Environment Protection Act or the rules does not empower the government to acquire or any land itself speaks very clearly that such disruption or dislocation or displacement cannot happen.
Okay.
Now, how is it that responsible people are trying to use this as a cover to mislead the people, create resistance to the notification, and then allow it to lapse? I think this is a very, very serious case of a breach of their constitutional commitment, which they are bound to keep up with.
Right. Praveen, would you then say that the Ghats should collectively come under the responsibility of the central government, that the onus of implementation of any such report should be on the central government alone without state government verification and ratification?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the law empowers the central government to notify.
Okay.
Now, a process of consultation is required and is welcome.
Okay.
All I said is that process of consultation is over.
Okay.
And after which the central government, in fact, let's not forget that this is the third draft notification.
Right.
The one issued on 27th of February 2017 is the third draft notification. What more consultation do you require? And whether the ground position or the situation on the ground, has it changed drastically to drop area? No. In fact, the current situation and what has happened in Kerala and Karnataka, all the more require that certain areas must be protected. Now, allowing for rehabilitation, I'm not saying that this will come in the way of rehabilitation. No. Rehabilitation of flood-affected people is necessary. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But the point is that the Western Ghats have to be protected long term.
Right, absolutely.
And Dr. Kasturi Rangan's report very clearly identified only 37% of the area.
Right.
And left out the balance and stated that that's to be treated as a cultural area where certain activities will go on. Even in the 37% of the area that needed to be protected and notified, there were three regimes: red, orange, and green. And practically every activity, bona fide activity that goes on in that landscape for livelihood and sustenance of people is in the green category, which does not require any permission.
Right, right.
Only destructive activities like mining, stone quarrying, sand mining, etc., and large building projects and so forth were listed in the red or the orange category, as the case may be.
Right.
So I think this is a very serious matter.
Absolutely.
And if we go on like this generation does not have any superior moral right to destroy everything and go away.
Right. Point taken.
They have a duty to protect.
Right. Thank you, Praveen, for bringing us your insights on this matter. So certainly a rather questionable move, one would perceive. Why isn't the centre using its right to notify? That's perhaps the question that needs to be asked in this situation. Big news coming in. Huge amount of relief for Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy in the Arkavati layout land denotification case. H.D. Kumaraswamy has been acquitted of all charges in Arkavati layout denotification case. The Special Court for Legislators and MPs has acquitted the Chief Minister. Jyoti Ramalingam, Ravi Prakash and Sriram have been acquitted from the case as well. They were associates of the Chief Minister, also accused in this. H.D. Kumaraswamy has been acquitted. He had earlier filed a plea seeking the quashing of the case, and it does appear that he has been acquitted from the case, so major relief for the Chief Minister in the case that dates back from 2012. I am joined by Arun Sundaram in this particular story on the phone. Arun, matter of relief, one would imagine, but there seems to have been an axe that has been hanging over the Chief Minister for quite some time, dating back to when he was previously the Chief Minister. What more could you tell us are the implications of this decision now?
Absolutely, Nikhil. In fact, a major relief, because remember in the month of November 2012, the Karnataka High Court, to which the then JDS leader had approached, had actually quashed the case and had referred the matter back to the Lokayukta court for fresh consideration. And as you rightly pointed out, there were 5 people who were named this. That is, besides the incumbent Chief Minister Kumaraswamy, the original landowners who are brothers, basically Dr. Ravi Prakash AV and Sriram AV, were the ones who were named. Now, as per the latest issue that's come up, what has happened is that 4 people have reportedly got relief, and only one person, that is Chennigappa. Chennigappa, remember, was the then forest minister, and his name continues to appear in the charge sheet which has been filed by the Lokayukta. And as you rightly pointed out, this related to the case where actually there was an instance of denotification, because the final notification which was issued by the BDA after acquiring the land and said that a compensation at the rate of 42 lakhs would be payable. But then apparently, because this particular issue had became public knowledge, perhaps the instance of going in for a process of denotification was initiated, and that is how these people's name appeared. But now, in a major relief, the special court completely discharging the Chief Minister and his close aides. The only name which continues to appear in the list is that of the person Chennigappa, who was the then Forest Minister, Nikhil.
Thank you, Arun, for joining us with those insights. Meanwhile, KPCC President Dinesh Gundu Rao has slammed the BJP and Prime Minister Modi, stating, and I quote, "There is no power with anyone in the BJP other than with Prime Minister Modi, and that the BJP is plotting the collapse of the coalition government, and the BJP is threatening some of the Congress's leaders, and that it's not right for the BJP to make derogatory statements against AICC President Rahul Gandhi." A series of criticisms being leveled against the BJP as well as the Prime Minister, stating that Congress leaders in the state are being targeted. BJP, meanwhile, made a veiled attack on Mallikarjun Kharge and Priyank Kharge. Now, this comes fresh on the heels of Priyank Kharge having criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi and said that his real father is, in fact, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat. In retaliation, in a tweet by BJP's Karnataka wing, the BJP has accused Mallikarjun Kharge of not letting any Dalit leaders grow within the party, and that the father and son duo, although one must note that the names have not been taken, the father-son duo also are accused of making property worth crores of rupees, and that Mallikarjun Kharge, again without taking names, is accused of making his son an IT minister, which incidentally in this tweet is the dead giveaway, even though he does not have a degree. The BJP's tweet was made after Priyank Kharge had earlier stated in an interview that Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, is the real father, in quotes, of Prime Minister Modi. A similar tone used in this tweet by the BJP's Karnataka wing. So it appears that these sort of statements have not gone unnoticed, and the Social Welfare Minister, who was in the Siddaramaiah administration as the IT Minister, has been slammed, although his name has not been taken. Now, questions of internal strife within the Congress over cabinet expansion have arisen, with Minister Ramesh Jarkeholi having had a meeting with the former Chief Minister at the latter's Mysuru residence. Ramesh Jarkiholi reportedly held talks with him over the cabinet expansion, although Ramesh Jarkiholi maintains that he was just there to call on Siddaramaiah out of respect, as he considers Siddaramaiah as his political guru. Now, Ramesh Jarkiholi reportedly warned Siddaramaiah about more than 20 Congress MLAs being unhappy over the cabinet expansion and the delays in dates for the cabinet expansion. Siddaramaiah has meanwhile assured Ramesh Jarkiholi that he would hold talks with State Congress in charge KC Venugopal after the latter returns from Kerala. KC Venugopal is currently touring flood-hit regions of Kerala, while the Congress High Command had assured that the cabinet expansion would take place after the 25th of September. This has led more than 20 persons from the Congress, MLAs and ministers reportedly trying to pressurize the Congress High Command over the cabinet expansion, considering that it was earlier supposed to have happened after the conclusion of the month of Ashada on the 12th of August. So yet another delay of 6 weeks. Meanwhile, Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy has issued a statement on Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's visit to the district of Kodagu. He said, and I quote, "It is unfortunate that Defence Minister had to go through certain inconveniences. It's time for all of us to forget small differences and join hands for rehabilitation of flood-affected Kodagu." It has been a few days now since the visit of Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to the district of Kodagu, and during a press conference there was a great deal of confusion with regard to protocol, and this has led to severe criticism being leveled against Nirmala Sitharaman between the Congress leadership, and Kumaraswamy seems to have wanted to lay out all of these on the table and say, move on from this. Now, some good news for Bengalurians. Deputy Chief Minister Dr. G. Parameswara inaugurated the new signal-free corridor on the west of Cord Road in Bengaluru. The first stage of the flyover starts from Manjunath Nagar main road. The total cost of this 271-meter flyover was estimated at 18.18 crore rupees. The flyover will be linking Mysuru Road and Tumkuru Road. Deputy Chief Minister Parameswara was accompanied by MLA Suresh, Mayor Sampath Raj, former Mayor Padmavati, under whose charge the construction began, and BBMP Commissioner Manjunath Prasad. So now this will seek to decongest a lot of gridlocks that tend to happen across various sections in Rajaji Nagar, including Dr. Rajkumar Road as well as West of Court Road itself. We'll now slip into a short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us.
फ्रेशनेस नाचने गाने और क्लोज आने से नहीं आती। फ्रेशनेस आती है बेशकीमती जड़ी बूटियों से निर्मित दंत कांति फ्रेश एक्टिव जेल टूथपेस्ट से। नए जमाने का नया टूथपेस्ट।
जब किचन में हो कुचीना
तो हर कोई बनाना चाहेगा खाना
कुचीना।
डॉक्टर अंकल, सब ठीक तो है ना?
बहुत सीरियस है बेटे। प्रिस्क्रिप्शन ये किया डाउनलोड और ये किया प्रिस्क्रिप्शन क्लिक और हो गए तुम्हारे पापा ठीक। हाँ अगले महीने भी मेड लाइफ 100% जेन्युइन दवाई, समझे लफद्दू?
लफद्दू मत बनो। medlife.com, obsessed with health.
Ready for anything. The new feature-loaded Renault Kwid. Renault, passion for life.
Welcome back. Bad news for Bengalurians. BBMP likely to collect an extra transport cess of 2%. Transport Minister DC Tamanna had asked the BBMP to collect the transport cess from the public as the BMTC was suffering losses due to the bad condition of roads. The widespread opposition was expressed over the issue. However, the proposal will today be discussed during the meeting of the council. Unpleasant news for regular users of BMTC buses, where a 2% transport cess will be levied by the BBMP, and this itself adds on to the additional increases that bus fares have already seen over the last few months, ever since DC Tamanna took over as Transport Minister. There has been a tremendous amount of opposition to this as well, considering several properties belonging to the Transport Ministry was ready to be sold for hundreds of crores of rupees, just to take into account the losses incurred by state transport agencies, even the urban ones such as BMTC. And now to have a cess collected from members of the public has led to a tremendous amount of opposition. So this will now be tabled in the council meeting today. Now, heavy rains have not only affected lives of residents, but has also dented the tourism industry for which the district is famous. Owners of hotels and homestays are requesting the Deputy Commissioner to allow tourists to come to Madikeri, as their businesses have been incurring huge losses. Such are the roads that are leading to homestays. We can just see huge cracks that have been spreading across. Large chunks of road, trees having fallen, landslides, and the risks of future landslides are certainly making life difficult. And hence, on this basis, the district authorities have advised no tourists to come through. But this has led to a lot of distress among homestay owners. On the left is a meeting of the Homestay Owners Association with the Deputy Commissioner, who assured them that as soon as the area is given the all clear, homestays can resume business. But what is uncertain is the amount of time it will take for life to return to normalcy, for infrastructure to be brought back to a situation where tourists are not hindered. My colleague Suraj Suresh brings us a report from the area as he has interacted with owners of resorts, hotels and homestays. Let's listen in.
Tourism is one of the most important livelihood for the people of Kodagu and the places in and around this district. But now that has been hit really bad owing to the fact that there have been landslides and floods in this area. Today I have the Hotel Association, Resort Association and the Tourism Association members here who have met the DC themselves, and they have discussed the new move from the DC's office, where 31st till 31st no tourists are allowed into the district, and to ensure that no one comes here and it becomes a problem for them as well. But today let's just ask them how the tourism entire department has been affected and how the problems from the floods and landslides have affected their livelihood as well. Now, keeping in mind the entire calamities which have happened in Kodagu district, how bad is the tourism department hit now?
Sir, actually, tourism hit like anything. No tourists are coming. And to tell you the truth, actually, there is no tourist spots are damaged in this calamity, actually. So I think some of my seniors are telling that 5% of Kodagu, that is the other side, is damaged. But only a little bit of Mandalapatti hills, the roads are damaged, and the road is going to Abhi Falls. Little bit is damaged. But because of the district administration order till 31st of this month, they are not allowed to come to the school. It's totally damaged for tourism area, sir.
Okay. Also, it is said that this is one of the most important livelihoods for the people of Kodagu district. Now, how many people used to come here? How dependent were you on tourism itself?
See, nowadays Kodagu district has been one of the hottest destination for the entire tourists, from the international and the domestic travelers. Now, here in Kodagu, the people were completely dependent on the plantation, which is coffee and pepper. Nowadays, due to the climate change, the productivity of the coffee and pepper is in a drastic situation. The other source of livelihood which the Kodagu district has seen is it's a tourism. Tourism today, each and everybody, it's not only the hoteliers or the homestays or the resorts have been dependent on this. everything, even the taxi, even the auto driver, even the bidawala, everybody are dependent on this economic activity. This is one of the main economic development, the financial development activity has been in Kodagu. Now, by this natural calamity, the total the travelers coming to Kodagu has been stopped. One thing, like everywhere it has been projected like Kodagu has been completely destroyed. No, this is completely wrong. The one part of Kodagu, as our friends are telling, 5% of the few villages, around 9 villages have been really damaged and the road connectivity has been completely destroyed. Now the Hoteliers Association, Resort Association, even the Tourism Association have been working with the district authority to resolve this in the rescue work. We have been accommodating all the officials and the police, everybody who have been come from the different districts to Kodagu to, for the rescue operation. We have been completely cooperating with them. But now the DC has, district authority has issued a statement like until 30th. The 31st, the travelers are not allowed and they will not to provide any rooms. Okay, we are cooperating with that. But if this situation again it continues for another 10 days or a month, totally economic activity in Kodagu is going to be still. Everybody are going to be affected, even the plantations, everything. Because even to provide a coffee, we are depending on the agriculturists. Everybody are affected. So we are requesting to, we are cooperating till 31st. Let this order not to be extended further. This is our request.
Right. Now we have the homestay, the hotel associations. Now, how many hotels have been lost due to this calamities, and how much footfall used to be there before, and how bad is it now?
No, I tell you, the Coorg is the major economy is only two. One is, first is, as my colleague has said, it is coffee. Next is tourism. When coffee, as a total earlier discussions, it is about 120,000 tons as average production in Kodagu. Maybe around now Coffee Board is doing surveying, and I think a real thing will come out later. But approximately about 5,000 tons might have been reduced. Maybe due to crop loss also. Property loss is a different question. That is, we are all agreed of it. Then maybe in 7-8 villages, lot of property loss is there. Estates have gone, landslides happen, property planters' houses have happened, all lost, and all things are there. But as far as the hotel association is concerned, this is DC has stipulated an order that up to 31st, no guests are allowed. As per that, all the hotels are being closed, are used for the rescue operation team, like police, like doctors. Whoever come, we are accommodating free of cost to those people. And only we requested DC that we want this to be, should not be extended further. And otherwise, the economy of tourism will not develop. Almost all the shops, hotels, spice shops, entire thing of Kodagu has been stopped already for 15-20 days. Right. Further, it will damage, and the employees working there also get affected. Already plantation laborers, because of the heavy rains, we have stopped most of the plantations, the work. The whole economy of the Kodagu will come down. So only we requested the administration that it should not be further extended. Only because already nil, the tourists who are coming, about how many tourists every month almost?
Almost 5 lakhs.
No, yeah, annually, but we have already 15 monthly 5 lakhs. So in that now nothing is there. Footfall is completely stopped.
Now we have seen, we ourselves have witnessed that a lot of tourists have been going to these places where a lot of these calamities, all these damages have happened. They're going there, and it has become a tourist spot now. Yes, yes. So people have been accompanying them, the people of the homestays or whatnot. They have been accompanying them to those spots. Yes. Now, why is this happening from the homestay side or the people going there? Why is this becoming a problem now?
No, that is out of curiosity they go. See, what they are not seen such a. They are not tourists. They are different. Class who are going and visiting them. Like I seen the people from India and all, because they are all dependent upon the Kaveri river. So they are eager to see whether Kaveri is affected or not. So that's why they are going. That's nothing. They are not tourists.
No, second thing is happening.
And moreover, I'll tell you this. What has happened? If the 31st up to they have given this one. So even they all vacate this 30 up to 31 and they'll start. It will take another 1 or 2 months to come.
To improve.
Improve. So up to that we have to survive. No, that is the main problem with us.
We have so much of
what message would you want to give out to the tourists who might come here, which is the main time which you're looking at, and what message would you want to give out to those tourists?
After, see, Dasara is coming in the month of October, I think. So after 15th of September, they can as well come here. Okay. There is no problem, and even the district authority have told, as the roads are all cleared, they will allow everybody. Only because of the road, they are not allowing them.
Okay. So this is what the owners, the hotel associations, the resort associations, and homestays, they have been saying that it is not that bad as the tourists think it is, and they have also urged the district authorities to ensure that after August 31st, they start allowing the tourists to come here, because that is the only source of livelihood they have. After plantations, it is the tourism department which they are dependent on. If that is hit, then their entire source of income is lost, and they urge the people as well to ensure that they are safe and they don't go to places where these calamities have happened. But at the same time, they also come here. The beauty still remains. The picturesque mountains which are there in this area, it's still the same, and they urge the people that they should not have the mindset that the entire Kodagu district is bad, but the tourism and the entire beauty still remains in Kodagu district. With Yuga Devaya, this is Suraj for News 9 from Kodagu.
Well, difficulties continue in the district of Kodagu. Rains resume in and around Madikeri. That's the big news that has just come in. Rains of varying intensity have hit Madikeri and its surroundings. Once again, rains are hampering repair work across Kodagu. So not much relief from rains as of yet. Though they're not as intense as the ones that caused the floods, they are hampering relief work. They are hampering movement of people who are slowly getting back to their villages and other towns. And this is the extent of rain so far. No flooding has been reported, thankfully, but the rains are certainly causing a great deal of disturbance in work that is being conducted. Bulldozers are having to work through the rain in order to clear mud that has fallen down due to landslides. So an unfortunate set of circumstances once again coming in and around Madikeri. Now, educational institutions across Kodagu have resumed functioning. Schools and colleges had a break of 20 days because of the floods and inclement weather, as well as landslides and lack of access. Authorities have been asked to enroll students to the maximum in institutions, especially those near relief centers. The district commissioner has also asked the authorities to ensure that no student is left behind in residential schools. Of course, this has also seen a lot of integration between those students who are at relief centers and those who study at schools which have been converted to relief centers. Some amount of bridging has been done so that the children are not left behind. They don't miss out on classes that have already caused a great deal of backlog. Meanwhile, as these schools and colleges have reopened, some of the classrooms are in a pathetic state. Water still continues to drip inside the educational institutions. Puddles are being created, and it is an absolutely sad condition. Several of the children have to wade through ankle-deep water in some of the classrooms. The walls are leaking, the ceilings are leaking as well. There are cracks abound, and no respite as of yet. Structural damages as a result of the rain has been the major cause of rainwater seeping through as well, while poor construction could also be attributed for this. In the heart-wrenching incident, a bear cub got its head stuck in between the railings of a gate. This has been reported from Kotagiri village in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore district. These are the screams of the little bear, finally freed when forest officers got there. But it is a tricky situation considering the mother gets very agitated when the child is in trouble and can hinder the rescue process, thinking that this is a human-laid trap. It is said that the bear cub had come along with its mother and its sibling to the village, and the residents who witnessed this incident alerted the forest officers, who rushed to the spot and eventually freed this poor screaming bear cub. And that's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Up next is a NEWS9 special edition of Weird News. Enjoy.
This Raksha Bandhan, celebrate the loving bond of a brother and sister with jewellery from IMA Jewels. Enjoy 0% on making charges, 0% on stone charges and 0% on wastage charges. Offer valid from 26th to the 28th of August at IMA Jewels on Lady Curzon Road and Jayanagar 4th Block. Terms and conditions apply.
सारे BH के बंगलोज विलास फ्लैट्स हटके जिसकी जैसी चॉइस सबकी मिलेगी चॉइस